Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Infinity with Malu. I'm your host, and firstly I would really like to apologize for being away for such a long time. I think it's been over a month. Guys, I'm so sorry, but I didn't have Wi-Fi connection for a month. I know. I know, it was so horrible, so I couldn't really film anything. I couldn't really watch Netflix. I needed to study for my exams at the library or at uni because I literally had no Wi-Fi. That is impossible. Like, I just felt so frustrated. But the Wi-Fi problem is solved, so I am back with another video. I want to give you guys a live update, and for the rest, today I would also like to talk about my realization about the journey being more important than the destination. Because me, I'm a very big procrastinator, and when I have, especially when it comes to administration, when I have a lot of things that I need to do, when I think about all those things, I will just end up doing absolutely nothing. And then I still need to do those things later. It's because I think about the final result and not about the small steps in between that make me go to the destination. But that's for later. First, I would like to give a life update. So it's been a whole month. What has been going on in my life? Well, I had my exams, which I think I did great. I think I did kind of good. I did feel like one exam that I didn't expect to feel. So that's a bummer, but I still did my best. So the only thing I can do is do my best again this summer, and then I'm gonna make it. Guys, I don't know if y'all understand. I've never been very great at school, so if you have any advice, by the way, you can send me a private message or comment it in the comments, because I cannot remember when I was really a good student. Maybe in my second year of like middle school / high school, whatever, like secondary school. When I was 13, I was thriving in every aspect of my life. And maybe in elementary school, I had a couple of years where I was also thriving and having good grades. But I've never been an Einstein, okay? I know I'm intelligent. Yeah, I know I'm intelligent, but at the same time, when it comes to school, there are a lot of times where I feel like I control my knowledge about the subject, and then I will get home with a grade where I just passed or I nearly passed instead of having a good grade. Then I'm confused, because what did I do wrong? I don't understand. I feel like when it comes to school, it's very important to keep yourself motivated and also believe in yourself, because if you start off the exam season by, oh, I'm not gonna make it either way, or I'm not good at school, and I don't understand why I would pass my exam, even though I've been to every single class, even though I kept a hold of my notes. If you are already demotivating yourself from the start and you don't believe in yourself, how do you think that you're going to make it? You will always perform worse if you think bad about yourself or your capacity to do something before it has even started. So for this season, I studied with someone who takes school very seriously, and he's really a soldier. Shout out to Ornelas. I studied with him almost every single day. That also made me keep my motivation, and that also eliminated that I would get distracted easier and start talking with him for a long time. And further, I just made sure that I started on time, because that's also a thing with me. I never start on time. I usually just start one day for the exam, not even one day, like the evening before the exam. And now I really used my week to study like 3, 4, 5 days for the subject that I needed to study for. So that also really helped, because yeah, okay, I get it. Like, I also need that adrenaline to get things done. But then at the same time, if you can really take your time and you can go over all the material just calmly, that also makes a large difference. Yeah, for the rest, I'm just very excited for the summer. I can feel it in my spirit, in my body, guys, that this is the year of calmness for me. This is also the year of a lot of elimination from people that are not supposed to be in my life anymore, or just things, bad habits that I need to stop doing. This is the year where I get the chance to come back to myself again. And I don't like to use the phrase that I'm finding myself, because I'm already here. This is my chance to become even more of a wise, intelligent, beautiful woman. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm really gonna enjoy this summer, and for the rest I'm gonna work because I'm not tired of living by myself. I love it, but I'm tired of paying my own bills. I'm tired of paying my own bills. And yeah, of course, I'm also lucky that my mom helps me here and there. But still, though, like, I still feel like a teenager. This is not supposed to be for me. So I'm also gonna look for a summer job. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I don't mind anything apart from working in a restaurant. And I'm not saying that to degrade people that work in a restaurant. It's the opposite, okay? People that work in a restaurant are real soldiers, okay? But it's just not for me. It's just something, it's either for you or it's not for you. It's gonna be hard work either way. I'm just not very fluent when it comes to working at a restaurant. It's just really not my thing. I can remember when I was working at a Spanish restaurant, I was still vegetarian or like pescatarian. But around that time, I had been for like 12 years. So I was doing the dishwashing, and then my boss came in and she was like, Marima, I need you to cut the fish. You need to wash and cut the fish. And I was like, sorry, I'm not gonna do that. And I would never speak to like that to my boss, but it's just like that, no. Now we are going over my boundaries. Because I didn't even want to eat fish that really looked like fish, let alone cutting the heads off of fish and washing them. No, I cannot touch that. You can call me a princess, you can say that I'm overreacting. I don't mind that, but I'm just not doing that. I can't. I just can't. Same thing with serving. I can serve, obviously. I'm not incapable of serving. But it's the thing where my pulse is very weak. Like, I don't know if you can hear it at ASMR. Like, because of the judo that I did, my pulse is very weak. So if I would need to hold plates, I needed to hold it with like 2 hands, and then she would get angry at me and this and that. But it's like, I cannot do anything about it. My conclusion is I'm not made for the restaurant work, okay? I need to do something else. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. For the rest, it's gonna be a slow summer. I didn't plan a vacation. I don't think I will be going on vacation. I'm just gonna enjoy the sun here for this year. Talking about trips, guys, I went to FDLM Music. And last year I also went. But to be honest, last year was horrible for me because we didn't plan things out very good. We arrived on the day itself. We were not at the right spots. My back was hurting. I was tired. And on top of that, my ex cheated on me at FDLM Music. Yeah. So my FDLM Music was horrible. So I felt like I really want to go this year again just to make better memories. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I got PTSD from that experience. Everywhere where I would hear Chargé in Belgium after that, I would get goosebumps. It was that bad. I was just thinking like, I want to go to FDLM Music again. And now I want to make better memories so that when I think of FDLM Music, I'm not only thinking about that bad experience, because I did see and hear that other people had better experiences. So I went again. I went with another friend. We are not friends anymore. Our friendship didn't make it out of FDLM Music. And like, it's been a whole drama. I don't even know if I should tell it because her and her little ex have been commenting under my TikToks and whatever. So I don't know if I want the drama. Do I want the drama? Okay, I'm just gonna explain a small story. I don't give a fuck. So boom. We already had a kind of an argument before FDLM Music about who was coming to FDLM Music with me and this and that and this and that. Doesn't matter. We went to Paris. Everything was all right on the 20th. And then we woke up on the 21st. And she has an ex that I don't like. And I have my reasons to not like him. She wanted us to spend time together with him, even though I don't like him. So I was like, okay, for like 10 minutes. Because she still wanted to be able to drive back with him to the Netherlands after FDLM Music. So it's like, okay, fine. 10 minutes. I already told her beforehand, I don't want to go where the Dutch people are. Or at least I don't only want to go there because I don't come to Paris to party with the Dutch people. She was like, okay, fine. But she picked out the first location where we were going, which was the Notre Dame. So we went to the Notre Dame. And what did I see? What did I hear? Dutch people. I even saw like 5 people from my hometown. I'm not joking. But I didn't mind. It was still fun. But then we went through all the things. Like we passed the whole street. And I was like, okay, let's sit down. let's talk about where we're gonna go now. Oh, all of a sudden it's a problem. Because she said, I don't want to go anywhere else. I want to stay here. And I was like, I already told you on forehand that I didn't want to stay with all the Dutch people. But then she kept just beating around the bush. You know, like when you tell a man, why did you cheat on me? And why did you buy her Fanta? And he's going to be like, I didn't even buy her Fanta. I bought her a Coke. And then it's like, but that's not the point. Yeah, that was what was happening. I said, I want to go to another place. Like, I don't want to stay at one place the whole night. And she was like, oh, there are not even only Dutch people here. It's not only even Dutch music here. You just don't want to stay here because you know people, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't care about knowing people, but I already made my point clear before FDLM music. Okay, so I texted my friend. I was like, what should I do? Because now we're in an argument and we still need to stay together till tomorrow. I want to fix this. And she was like, just be the bigger person and come up with a solution. Also, she said that her ex was going to be at the Notre Dame. So when I turned around, I asked her like, okay, I wanted to suggest that I wait with her till her ex comes. We separate our ways for a little bit and then we come back together later on. Because this was not going to work and we were annoyed at each other. Okay, I'm not saying, oh, I was irritated and she did it. No, I was saying we are both irritated. So there was no point of staying together, especially because she really wanted to stay here and I wanted to go to another place. So I thought I'll just wait for her ex to come. Then I'll go with my other friend and then we'll meet up together later. So I tried suggesting that to her. She kept on raising her voice at me. At this point, people are looking at us and people can also understand us because they also speak Dutch. So eventually, with a lot of going back and forward, I told her like, I'm not gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna walk away from you because you're talking bullshit. And I told her, you're acting like a bitch. Like, can you please act normal towards me? So then she was like, how dare you calling me a bitch? And blah, 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 blah. Okay, I get it. But then at the same time, you keep on yelling at me. I told her, listen, I want to go to another place. You don't want to come with me. And she immediately interrupted me by saying, oh, I'm not your fucking dog. Do you think I'm your fucking dog? That I'm going to follow you? I never said that. I just said, I want to go to a different place. You don't want to come. That's the only thing I said. So I was like, you were just looking for an argument now. She also came personally for me by saying, oh, you want to become a psychologist, but look at how you're acting right now. And I was like, what does my career have to do with this? And this is not the first time where she's coming personally for me, because the argument that I mentioned before we went to FDLM Music, she also brought up my financial situation, other personal stuff, even though it had nothing to do with the argument. I was just fed up. I just told her like, listen, I'm gonna leave, but I'm going to take the key with me. Because if she's with her ex also doesn't like me. She can just fuck me over if she has the key. So I was like, I'm going to take the key with me. So she stood up and then she threatened me to punch me in my face and to beat me up. And I just asked her like, are you actually serious? Because we both know I would punch you to the ground. Like, I'm not even acting tough and I don't fight with my friends. And that's also why I don't appreciate the way of communicating towards me, because it doesn't matter how mad I am. I will never threaten to punch my friend. I will never even touch my friend. I would never. So from that moment, the friendship was basically already over, because why are you coming personally for me and threatening to beat me up? She was like, no, you're going to give me the fucking key. Otherwise, I'm going to beat your ass, this and that. So I just sat that back down again, because I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do this. But I told her, I'm not going to fight with you, but I'm also not going to give you the key. Because I knew once I give you the key, you can just decide to do whatever you want. And you're already acting petty. I also told her, like, you're not doing anything. You're not putting in any input to fix this. So she was like, you need to leave me alone because I have alcohol in my system and you're really trying to test me. You're really trying to argue. Like, okay, whatever, girl. So I started texting my friend again. I was like, yo, this is getting out of hand. I don't know what to do. I really tried. All of a sudden, her ex is in front of us. She jumps up. She jumps in his arms. You know what? I'm not even going to share personal information about what he did to her. I'm not even going to do that because that's not my story to tell. But he wasn't a good boyfriend. But then she started defending him after the relationship and this and that. Every single time she would complain about him. And then I would tell her, like, but he ain't shit, girl. Like, what do you expect? He wasn't that bad and he's the only one that loves me. Okay, whatever. So she jumped into his arms and they started just ignoring me. They were hugging each other and caressing each other and everything. And I was just looking up and I was thinking, like, I'm really not going to do this. So I just stood up. I gave her the key. I even put it in her bag. I put it in her bag. I was like, here's your fucking key. I don't even care anymore. Bye. And I said, donder op. And I just walked away. And then I started crying because the pressure was too hard. Anyway, she did ask me 30 minutes later if I wanted to talk out. But at that point, I was like, disrespectfully, fuck you. Because I've been trying to talk with you for like over half an hour. You've embarrassed me. You've threatened to beat my ass. She also used the argument when I didn't want to give the key. She was like, the key's on my name. It's on my name. So you are supposed to give me the key. I have the right to the key. Hold up now. Because didn't we both pay for the Airbnb? So what does it matter that the Airbnb is on your name? I don't understand. So that shows that every single time we are in an argument, you just try to look for personal things to throw at me instead of staying at the topic of the argument. You're trying to use a power game with me, and you're trying to dangle this key above my head because you feel like because it's on your name, you have right to the key. So I need to give my power to you. Anyway, I just told her, no, don't want to talk right now. Maybe if we come back to the Airbnb, because I still wanted to fix it, but I was like, till which extent can we fix this? Because things have been said. And I told her to, I did tell, before she's gonna come in the comments right now to tell everyone that I told her to shut the fuck up. Yeah, I did tell her to shut the fuck up. Because look at how you're talking to me. Everyone was looking at this as some type of entertainment. Like, what the hell? That's just so ghetto. But yeah, anyway, so I called my friend and she sent me her location. So I was going to my friend. I also called my mom because I was like, what the hell? And she did end up opening the door for me when I came back to the Airbnb. I still had a blast, guys. I still had a blast. She opened the door. I just also like, oh, have you been sleeping for a long time, to pulse a little bit about if she still wanted to talk or not. But it was also late, so I understand. She said, yeah, and she went back to bed again. Okay. In the morning, she left for a little bit, so I was just packing my stuff. She came back. I looked at her. She looked at me. No one said anything, so I was like, okay, whatever, we'll see. Then when she packed all her stuff, she just said, I'm gonna go now. And I said, okay. And then she left. I suppose that she was going to her ex because she wanted to use her ex to drive back to the Netherlands. Anyway, so that was that. I still had a blast that day. I still had great people around me. She didn't text me for the whole day. And then she ended up texting me about 11 euros that I still need to pay her back. But I thought to myself, I also paid for certain stuff. You paid for certain stuff. I'm just gonna leave it. But she was making it a game of, oh, I paid this for you. But then I said like, okay, but I also paid this for you. And she was like, okay, but that's why I'm leaving out the 15 euros that you're, okay, whatever. I don't even want to do this anymore. I also didn't want to block her because we have been friends for 11 years. 11. This is not just a girl that I met at school or whatever. Like, we already know each other since I was like 10 years old or something. So I didn't want to block her. I was like, this week I'm gonna be in my hometown at my mom's place where she also lives. So maybe we'll get the chance to talk things out to a certain extent, because it's never going to be the same either way. But you know, but after she said that about the money and the this and that, I was just thinking like, don't act like I wouldn't give you back your money if you would ask for it politely. But now you're playing this game with me. No, fuck you. So I just blocked her on everything. And then the next day I still asked for my pictures on iMessage. She said deleted them a long time ago. Okay, so I told her, what did I say? Yeah, I said, je bent een bitter teringwijf. Yeah, for the Dutch people that are gonna understand me, you're gonna understand. But I said, je bent een bitter teringwijf, and that's why you have no friends. And you tell me that your friend is male-centered, but the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That's what I said, and then I blocked her on everything. I did post a TikTok saying like, oh, so it's not only me whose friendship didn't make it out of FDLM music, because I saw on my For You page that there was a lot going on between friend groups. And her ex decided to reply, you're a joke, man, because you are leaving your friend in the middle of Paris, and you're walking away in a tantrum, and you're a grown adult. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Because in real life, he cannot even make eye contact with me. He told her that he feels intimidated by me, as he should. But first of all, I didn't leave my friend in the middle of Paris, because even after her calling me names, coming personally for me, threatening me, I still stayed with her till her ex was there. And when I saw them hugging each other like she was in type of danger, that's when I thought to myself, nah, I'm not gonna do this. Then I gave her the key. I literally put it in her bag and I walked away. And yes, after 30 minutes of trying to stay calm, yes, I'm gonna walk away irritated or frustrated, yes, I'm gonna do that. So I just replied to him, oh, you're so funny because y'all are teaming up to get it towards me now, but your girl tells people that she only uses you for what you can offer, which is your car and what's between your legs. And that's how it is. Well, I don't know if that's how it is, because maybe she really wants to be in a relationship with him, but that's not the point. Anyway, yes, I don't want to be a dramatic person. Like, I am indeed becoming an adult, so I don't want to be in teenage drama. Yeah, and then all the people she talked shit about towards me started commenting under my TikTok, and that's a funny thing because she's the one that told me, like, I don't really have friends and I only have one friend, but she's so male-centered, so I cannot really hang out with her. And I was like, but you have me, and how come you don't have other friends? She was like, no, but because you also live further away, this and that and this and that. So it's funny, you were telling me that you had no friends, and now the people that you were talking shit about are backing you up and commenting under my TikTok. And then she also commented under my TikTok saying like, oh, she lost almost all her friends this year. And then she went to the one friend she has left, the last one standing. Bitch, I still have enough friends. And I'm not saying that as that the friends that I did lose or the friends that I am not friends with anymore are replaceable. No person is replaceable. But I think you're just projecting because you don't have friends yourself. Anyway, so that's a story time about how my friendship didn't make it out of FDLM music. For the rest, I had a blast, guys. If you're thinking about going to FDLM music next year, I would do it. To be honest, I don't know how it's gonna be next year because of the UK people, because they are going crazy, and I'm sure they're already booking for next year. But if you haven't gone, just do it. Why not? If you find the right spots and you come like a little bit on forehand, so you are not exhausted from the journey towards Paris and then you still need to party the whole day, then you're gonna have a great time. Okay, boom. Now I want to get to the procrastination part that I was talking about in the beginning. I am one of the biggest procrastinators, and it's especially when there are a lot of things happening at once. My mind cannot comprehend it and I start stressing. I have problems with hyperventilation. I think it started when I was around 18 years old or something. I can just sit somewhere and chill, and all of a sudden I feel this large pressure on my chest, and it's like someone is strangling me. I literally cannot breathe, and by me panicking, it gets only worse. Like, me trying to fight against it makes it worse, and it had been gone for a couple of months, but now it has come back. For example, when I was waiting for my exam results, I had that. When someone is canceling plans with me, or even when I'm just eating dinner with my mom and all of a sudden I feel this pressure. I don't know what to do, because yeah, you can do breathing exercises and you can like try to calm down your mind and take everything step by step, but it's really an annoying feeling. Stress has such a large impact on your life and on your health. If you have chronic stress, it's really like smoking cigarettes. Like, you can get cancer from stress. Your organs are literally shrinking from long-term stress, and that's why I'm stressed about the stress. Now I'm stressed about having stress. My grandma said, go to a doctor's and you'll get medication. But the thing is, I don't fuck with medication, especially when it comes to my mental health, because the medication, I feel like the medication is only gonna suppress what I feel, because stress comes from somewhere, from a certain problem. That's also a thing. We often think that our problems are so large, but look at how far we have come. I am still here, I am still healthy, I'm still living by myself, I still have people that love me around me. So there's not really a reason to stress. Often we make the problems bigger in our minds than they actually are. But I still don't know how to completely get rid of it, because like I said, the first time it really showed up was when I was around 18 years old. Before, I don't remember that I really experienced stress in that way, and anxiety and hyperventilation, but it came back and I just don't know how to get rid of it completely. But I do have some tips, some advice you can take. So boom, I'm gonna give an example. You need to study for your exams, and it was a class you didn't go to at all. I had that with cross-cultural psychology. Yeah, I didn't go to that class at all, and now the exam season was approaching. I also didn't make any notes. Automatically, because of thinking about the destination, stressing about passing the exam even though I didn't go to the class, it makes me not even want to start. I'm already thinking in my mind like, this is too big for me, I cannot do this. So what did I do? Just start. Starting is often even harder than the work itself, because it's you only stressing about everything that's gonna go wrong in the process that blocks you from starting. But once you've started, you will notice that things are much easier than it seemed in your mind. So what did I do? I started on time and I felt like, okay, what am I gonna do? So I asked the person I was closest with in the class if she has any notes. Boom. So she sent me the notes. I was like, okay, fine. Then boom, I had over a week to study for that. I was going in there with a very light mind. I was thinking like, I'm just gonna try and understand this. So there were 40 pages of summary that I needed to study for. If you start on the day before, it's gonna seem like a lot. But if you spread it out over a week, you can literally just do 10 pages per day. You can really take your time with those 10 pages because you have the whole day to do it. It's really about doing everything step by step. When you want to use stairs and you are downstairs and you look up and you see all the stairs that you still need to go up to, if you're only stressed about how am I going to get there instead of just using the stairs step by step, obviously you're going to get so overstimulated that you don't even want to start. Working your plans and what you want to accomplish out step by step is crucial for a success, because same thing with like going to college or going to university. I'm 21 now. I'm still in my first year of college. But you know, life was lifing, and I also worked for 2 years so I could save up money. So I mean, it's not a waste. But anyway, when I tell people now that I'm 21 and I'm in my first year of college and I still need to do like 5 years after this, if I pass everything right on time, they're like, wow, whoa, that's still such a long time. You're gonna be like 25, 26 when you graduate. But the thing is, I'm gonna be 25, 26 regardless. So I might as well be 25, 26 with a degree of what my passion is. You know what I mean? I cannot look at it as, well, I'm only in my first year, I still need to do so many years, and it's going to take work and it's going to take time of my life and this and that and this and that. Because then what am I going to do? Get demotivated again, and then I'm going to quit. For now, I'm just focusing literally not even on the year. I'm focusing on the semester. I'm just trying to make it through the semester. Same with life. I'm just trying to make it through the day. Because the thing is, when you are at the point at your graduation and you are holding your papers, it's gonna feel good. You're gonna feel good for a moment because you're proud of yourself, because it feels like you are finally being rewarded for your hard work. But then the next days is gonna feel like normal. Then you're already thinking about the next plan, the next thing you wanna do with your life. The process is more important because that's where the development happens. That's where the change in you as a person, in your environment, in your knowledge happens. That's why I'm saying that the process is even more important. The process and the journey is even more important than the destination itself. The destination is just the result of your hard work and your consistency and your discipline. Yeah. Same with, for example, going to the gym. I am not focused on the destination of how I want my dream body to look. I'm focused now on how can I be as healthy as possible? How can I maintain a schedule at the gym that's not going to exhaust my body, where I'm still going to see progress? That's also how I think about life. And when you have that mindset, you are already gonna stress yourself less because your problems will seem smaller. Okay guys, this is everything that I want to say for now. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any feedback, please give it to me, because sometimes I'm still nervous of talking to my screen, guys. But I'm just yapping and I'm just sharing my thoughts. And the thing is also, I'm not here as a master to necessarily teach you things theoretically and everything, okay? I'm also just going through life and I'm taking y'all with me. If you can take anything from my video or get inspired by it or feel related to it, that is my goal. Like, that just makes me happy. I'm always open for feedback because I want to get better at this, and I also want to try to make it as interesting as possible for other people. Don't forget to like my video and leave a comment. I really like when y'all leave comments. Okay, I'm saying this again. I don't think like commenting is really a thing anymore. But anyway, I would like for y'all to also leave a comment under my video. This was everything, and I'll see you at the next one. And I promise that I won't take this long anymore to make a new video. Yes, I was just going through life, okay? Anyway, see you guys at the next video. Bye bye.
I've been doing what I want. It's a pickup in the back by the trunk in the front. Tequila in the back, batty blunts in the front. Purse 101, first 101. I got the money, make a broke bitch mad.